Hi, this is Physical 247 again. One of the lesson lights there are those things that the man comes, wherein the man, in the midst of the challenges that he has, he comes into the knowledge of what God is able to do for him. Although it does not give him the overwhelming victory or the fullness of all that God has planned for him, it is enough for him to know that God is with me and God is faithful. An example of this would be the life of Joseph. There was a love light in the midst of darkness, which was for him slavery, to give him favor in the eyes of Potiphar and make him head of Potiphar's household. But it wasn't the kind of light that brought him his freedom. Where you now see Joseph having the greater light that rules the day is when he would now come into Pharaoh's house and be into the presence of Pharaoh, and from there really become ruler of all of Egypt. This is what we mean. So this is what those lights mean. Furthermore, I want you to note something. Now, the Bible says that God sent them to rule over the light to rule over the day and the night. This tells you that the day and the night are not determined by these lights. Because do not forget that before even these lights were created, there was a day and a night. And actually, in the first expression, the first day, God was one that made a light where he said, this is night and this is day. What this tells you is that your ability in your walk with God, there are going to be times and there are going to be seasons. And there are times, and most times, your ability to endure during the night season will bring you into the day. Because the Bible always says, and there was evening. So evening comes first, and there was morning, another day. So in the midst of the night, you may not have a fullness of revelation, but there's enough light for you to know the next step. There's enough light for you to know that that prayer I pray, God answered. It may not be the answer to the great prayer you are praying that will bring you into the fullness of what God has prepared, but it does give you something that shows that there is a divine power to work in your life. And you are seeing people giving testimony of what He's doing, people that you know that are men that speak truth. This gives you hope that look, if God can do that for them, they can also do that. Those are the stars that shine also. You will not always be able to have to make the night day and the day night. But note something. You do need these lights because it says to rule the day and to rule the night. Because that light you have at night will enable you to stay, will help sustain you until the day comes.